course, we're down here at the Pepper Mill, and I have the most incredible woman. And as she walked in, I'm saying, who is this woman? And all of a sudden I realized, I know you, Louisa Voicine. A most amazing young lady. She's in millinery. Now, millinery, I don't know if it's so hot these days, but I think it's hot in a different way as of the change of the hats you wear.
Yes, most definitely. And it's really come back.
It's come back, and I think the royal family are probably part of making it this different way, which is a hat. I just love this hat.
Well, and this is the fascinator.
This is the fascinator.
This is the fascinator, and this would be considered a hat. A fascinator is something that would be on a headband or a clip.
Okay.
And this is what came back from the royal wedding.
I was going to say, from the royal wedding, you know, when I guess when William got married,
yes.
and they all came out with these crazy hats, whatever you want to call them, but they came fascinating. But they came with all these very, very tall and all that, and some of them look really good, and some of them look absolutely, totally ridiculous. But you could say that.
We all agreed on that.
Did you agree on that?
Yes, very much so.
Absolutely.
Some of them looked like they were going to take off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now your hat is very unique. Is this something because it's just a regular hat, but you've created the flowers?
Created the flowers and created the hat.
Yes.
So as a milliner, we actually use vintage wooden head blocks, and we shape the fabric on the block. And this is a cloche style from the 1920s, which is one of my favorites. So I've been doing a lot of them.
Well, doing them and seeing them, are you having enough buyers for them?
I do. I have a wonderful clientele in Las Vegas. I do.
Because you don't see many people wearing hats, but obviously I'm not at the place where they're wearing them, which is probably the Pepper Mill Lounge. But at the same time, so you're saying they're coming back?
They are. It's an accessory. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. And of course, in the winter back east, they're very, very popular. Yes. They're knit caps. But I think probably one of the most interesting things that happened to me in Las Vegas was I do a lot of fundraising.
I know you do.
I do.
I've known this young lady for years, and believe me, you are really cool.
Oh, thank you. And it's for me, that's what it is. I've been here since 1992, and this is home, and giving back anything I can is what I do. So anyway, I was doing a fundraiser over at Caesar's Forum with the Philharmonic.
Oh, yes.
And we had a silent auction, and I had a big hat that I had donated, and I was standing next to it, and a gentleman walked over and he said, who would ever wear that? It's a beautiful hat. And I didn't say anything, and he said, did you buy this hat at the auction? And I said, no, I'm the designer. And he's like, oh, sorry. And I said, I don't take anything personally.
His embarrassing moment.
He was embarrassed. But he said to me, what makes you think there's a need for hats in Las Vegas with women? And I looked at him and I said, watch me, I'll create one.
Which you have.
So I have, because what I did was focused on fundraising, because that just came to me naturally, and that's all about giving back. And the amazing groups of women that do the fundraising here in town, and working with them and doing the big fashion shows every spring, and selling the hats, setting up boutiques, and then the money goes back to the fundraising for the whatever group it is. Which Dress for Success is my number one. Oh my gosh, yes, amazing.
Yes, that is amazing charity. But also, were you not on CBS? I remember you were doing a show on NBC, CBS. I'm mentioning all your names out there.
I think it was and it wasn't a regular show, but it was from the Emmy Awards.
Yes,
because I was one of the featured hat designers for the Emmy Awards, and I got to spend a weekend with all the people that were, up for awards, and
amazing.
Played with hats with them, and it was great. I had a great time.
What is your concept now of women, buying hats and wanting hats back again? Do they turn around and say, well, where on earth would I wear this?
I don't know what their attitude is in a department store.
Yes.
I think if it's Easter, or they feel that there's a necessity for them, they might be going on a cruise, they need a big floppy hat. But I know that for the women that I work with, their attitude is wonderful. And one of my favorite things, though, is women that have never worn a hat, and they've convinced themselves that they don't look good in hats. And once I start putting them on,
and then you come along,
and they're like, their posture changes, their attitude, and they're like, they look in the mirror and they say,
"Ascot, here I come."
Yes, and they look in the mirror and they say, "I look quite nice in this." So it changes, it gives them a lot of confidence, which is always a lot of fun.
You know, I was fortunate enough to meet Lily Dachet. You know who
Oh,
Lily
yes,
Dachet is?
yes.
Lily Dachet is a famous millinery in New York. And then she had a Lily Dachet at the Wilshire Hotel in Beverly Hills. And then she opened up in Belle Harbor in Miami.
Yes.
So I know my hats.
You do know your hats.
I know my hats. An amazing woman, absolutely amazing woman. So, you know, the hat world has never really gone.
It's never really gone.
It's never really gone.
No, it just, I think it needed a boost. And I think
you're the one to give it that boost.
Well, I think the Prince William gave it the boost at his wedding.
Yeah, when he got his wedding. Yeah, there you are. I know you got a package here. What's in your package?
I have, well, there's a gift in there, and I had no idea that you were wearing black and white today, but I knew the perfect hat for you, because that's one of my favorite things, is to sum up somebody's face.
I get a gift. You know, I'm always getting gifts on this show.
Sum up somebody's face and decide what would work well for them. And this is very classic and very classy.
Ooh.
And it's yours.
And guess what? It's a hat. Last week we had books.
It's not a roll of French bread or anything.
We're not going to have pate and French bread and
that would be good.
And a glass of champagne. Would that be amazing? Well, I don't know if that would go down the pepper mill, bringing your own food in. But,
oh, probably
But
not.
I've got to have a look at this. This is amazing. Oh, look at... I would love to put it on, but I've got to do the rest of the show. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Look. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Wow,
well
that's
deserved.
Amazing. Look at this. This is the back.
It's the classic fedora. So this is going to be your back with the flower, because you don't want the flower taking away from your face. Yes, and it has sizing in here, so if it's a little too big, then you just draw on
Do you know,
this.
that's an amazing idea. Okay, this is something that is definitely needed out there, and this is something you should start doing a kind of a app on and start designing this, because in America when you buy a hat, I don't know if English people have smaller heads, I don't know, maybe we have less brains, I don't know what the whole thing is, but the hats are always extremely big.
Yes.
So you've got this thing, I'm just going to pull it because I think that's what you do with it, and it's this thing here. Look at this, isn't this amazing? God, you could think how many hats you could sell. So you do this and you pull it and it makes it whatever size.
Yeah, it's inside, the elastic is inside the casing.
The casing here.
And what happens is when you don't have that, as you said, so many hats are too big, we have a sizing, and it reminds me of weather stripping you get at Home Depot, and I just can't stand it. It's so thick and gray and it's sticky.
Yeah.
And with this concept, it's if the hat is too if your head is too big, then this isn't going to help you. But if your head is smaller,
that's not the problem in America.
No.
They make this so big that it could fit anybody. I mean, talk about, you know. So I think that's a brilliant idea. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm going to show the back of it because it's so lovely and so wonderful. And then now, what sort of person would buy this type of? I'm going to call it type of hat because it is kind of hattish. Well,
in the millinery world, we have a lot of rules, right? So one of them is that after 5, you're not supposed to wear a wide-brimmed hat. You could probably you could probably wear a cloche with maybe like a 2-inch, 3-inch brim at the most. But really, you're not supposed to wear a large brimmed hat after 5. So this is where fascinators come in, and over the years, like in the 1920s and even the 40s, when see in Turner Classic Movies, my favorite, and they'd always have a clip in their hair with a flower,
like a little something,
or a little cocktail hat with a veiling.
Yes.
So this is where fascinators come in.
So these are called fascinators. I'm trying to look at the price of something. What is your price line for hats?
I can tell you they go all the way up to about $1,500, which really isn't bad when you look at some of the hats that are out there, and they're charging a lot more. And people tell me that you should charge more, but I'm like, no, I want people to wear my hats. Yes, I don't want to gouge them.
Do you ever sell any to Ascot, or do you ever, which is in England, or do you ever sell any to the Kentucky Derby? Because you've got 3 races going on, and they've all got these humongous hats.
Yes, I have a lot of clients.
You must have a field day.
I have a field day for sure. A lot of clients that attend Ascot every year, and you need a new hat every year.
Oh, yes, you can't wear the same one. You can't even wear one you wore 5 years ago.
That's right.
Because women have a funny way of remembering.
That's for sure.
She wore that 2 years ago.
And then I do have a lot of clients that go to Kentucky Derby, and then opening day at Del Mar.
Yes, oh, I love
Yes.
that opening day. I used to go to, well, my past.
Your past.
I used to go to Del Mar every meet. So I know exactly what that, and the
So
women
much
are
fun.
and they have all these beautiful boxes in the director's room, and oh, it's just gorgeous there.
And amazing hats.
And I think it's, what is it, Bill Crosby singing the song, right? He has the
Yes.
opening song there.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jimmy Durante, he also has another song there too, so I know all about the
You do. You know more about it than I do, that's for sure. I'm about the hats.
I know my stuff.
Yes, you do.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you who needs a fabulous hat for any occasion, which
Yes.
means you can have a hat for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, anytime.
Anytime. And pardon my voice, I had laryngitis, so I tend to go up and down some
That's okay.
odd,
That's
some
okay.
odd octaves
To
here.
me, to me, you have an American voice.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Because I forgot. Where can they reach you?
Louisavoicine.com. Louisa
Okay.
Voicine Millinery, or just louisavoicine.com
.com.
is
Wonderful.
the website.
Well, it's lovely to have you on.
Well, it's my
Louisa,
pleasure.
and it was
Thank
just
you. It's so good
amazing
to see you.
again, and we shall be right back with another guest.
Thank you.